Thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on my Color Wednesday blog post for August 17th, 2016. We are going to be using the third image from the CC Designs Celebrate stamp set. So this will be the third video. So if you want to see the other two, you can just look down the playlist for CC Designs and you'll find it. If you have a question, make sure and leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I have stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound solar white cardstock with Memento ink. So let's color. So we're going to outline our image with C0, and I'm just going to start over here on the edge. And even though we're going to put a ground on there, I'm going to go ahead and just go underneath the entire thing because there's going to be a little bit of space there I left, maybe. It all depends. Things change when I color it a second time. So we're just going to go all the way around our image and back to the other side. And I like to do this first so in case I get somewhere where I don't want it, I can erase it. Usually I don't really worry about it because when it dries it's pretty light, but if you wanted to erase it you can. And also doing it first, you won't have to worry about catching any of the other colors you've colored and picking them up and dragging them to the outside, which I do if I happen to forget to outline first. I'm very messy. And go up here around our cute little bird's hat. And up here and around our cake. These little sparklers on there are super cute. Around this side and back down to where we started. And you can tell, I don't know if you can, let me see if I can pick this up here, but up here it's a lot darker until it dries, and down here at the bottom you can hardly see it. So let's do the ground next, even though you can't tell. This is my instructions that I write everything on. Look at, there's such a mess. So I'm just going to go over here where it says ground, and we're going to do W3 and W1. And I'm going to hope I don't miss anything because there's quite a bit of instructions there. So with our W3, we want to do underneath this rabbit's foot. So let's go over here first. And I like to go a little bit past where the foot is on the bottom. So it's not just a straight flat line. And then we're going to bring that over here underneath this foot that's in the air. And then of course we're going to go under these wheels. So let's start up here. See, even though I colored down here, I already put some gray there. I'm just going to color right over that. Like this. And then let's go. We'll add a little bit more. That, and then let's go with W1. So I just want to soften the edge. Oops. And I'm going to go back with my W3 and just darken some of this up. There, they're rolling right along. So next on the instruction list is this bird over here. So let's go ahead and go over there. So for our little bird, we are going to use, for him, we're going to use B00, 000, quadruple 0. For his beak, we're going to use YR16 and 12. For his tongue, I'm going to use R20, and inside of his mouth is going to be E04. So we're going to start by coloring him. So let's grab B00, and let's do a little bit here on his cheek and come up the side of his face a little bit. And let's see here. And I'm going to leave this inside part around his face and down here on his belly white. So let's go around this side over here. And I'm going to do a little dab here underneath his hat too, just a little bit. Then let's go around the outside of his belly, down his legs. Let's do this leg over here too, since it's in the back. And then we do the bottom of his little tail feather. And then I want to go down his little fingers here a little bit. And then also this little arm over here, we're going to do right next to the leaf. And we'll do down the bottom. Do a couple of his little fingers. Then we're going to add B000. So let's add a little dab of this. His tail, up onto his face. And then we'll fill the rest in with our B000. And if you wanted him to be darker, you could go over him a second time. Depends how blue you want him to be. And I didn't do anything to his belly, like I said, I just left it white. For his beak, I'm going to do YR16 first. So let's do a little bit of that right along the bottom of his beak. Not too much. And then we're going to fill it in with our YR12. And then for the inside of his mouth, I'm going to do E04. And his tongue, that's just a little bit there. I'm going to do R20. I think I'll go over this E04 just a little bit too, just to soften it a little bit. Okay, our little rabbit. For him, we're going to use W420 and the 00. For inside of his mouth, we're going to use E04, and for his nose and inside his ears, we're going to use R20. So let's start with our W4, and let's give him a little bit of shade here. So let's go. He's got a little bit of his ear showing on the top of this cart. So I'm going to do that right up here past the little cute little bird's tail. And then for this ear, let's do a little dab right here at the bottom. And then I'm going to bring it along the bottom of this section. And his arm, let's see, his arm is coming down off this handle. So let's do that a little dab. And same for this side. And he's got, oh, look at this little bird right here. I forgot to do his feet. That's no good. Let me grab YR16. We'll do his legs. He's got his little legs right here. Crazy. We can't be having legless. And some of these are probably the little rabbit's fingers, so I'm going to try to leave a few of those. So let's go like this. How's that? That looks pretty good. And we'll call those other ones for the rabbit. Okay, W4 again. So let's do, for his foot, let's come up here, along here. And then for this foot, we're going to go along the bottom of his leg and a little bit there on his toes. And let's do a little dab of color on his back of his little fluffy face. And then let's do his mouth and his nose right here. Okay, then we're going to add W2. And I'm going to color in his fingers up here. And then we want to add some of this to his ears. And we're just going to continue around adding a little bit of color to our cute little guy. And let's see, we're going to go around this. And a little bit right here. Okay, then we're going to fill the rest of him in with W0. There's got a little patch of hair right here, don't forget that. And then for our W00, we're going to do his tail and his belly, his little foot pad over here, and then he's got this little patch around his eye. I'm going to color that. Then we're going to take E04 and we're going to color in the inside of his mouth. That you can see he's got it open. He's got a little tooth there. We're going to leave that white. And then we're going to grab R20. Let's color in the inside of his ear. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to color it right in his nose. Super cute. Okay, we're going to leave his shirt for now, and we're going to come back. We're going to go over here and we're going to do cake, because some of this, I colored the little stripes here the same color as his shirt, so when I get those out, we'll just color his shirt up. So for the cake, we're going to use E53, 51, and Y23. And let's start with our E53. And for that, we're going to go right along the edge of our cake right here, and then I want to do a little dab underneath of the frosting. And then I also want to do a little dab underneath of this little stripy frosting. That, and then we're going to go down the second layer. We're going to do the same thing. Go right along the edge. And then we'll do the bottom. I'm going to go down the side here. And then do the bottom underneath the little swirly frosting. And then we'll get the bottom cake. So for the bottom cake, let's go right along this edge. And then under the frosting. I'm also going to do right along the edge of this line. Let's go down the back of the cake this time too. And then under our swirly frosting. I'm going to go on the opposite side of my line too. Add a little dab there. Okay, then we're going to go with E51. So for that, we're going to go up here at the top. Let's start up here. And I just want to go right along that edge of our E53. That. We'll continue down to the next layer of cake. And then the bottom. And then we'll do down here. If you color those little beads, that's okay, because we're going to color those red. So if you color over them, that will be fine. The red will cover that up. Then we're going to grab our Y23. We're going to go over the entire cake and give it a yellow cast here. I'm into yellow cake this week. I colored a different video that I shot before this one, Cake Nancy, she had a yellow cake. Maybe it's a sign I need to have some yellow cake. Or maybe some lemon cupcakes. Okay, we'll go right along here. And again, if you color those little beads, it's okay, because we're going to color them red. And then we're just going to work our way up with our yellow to the top. And then the very top cake. So let's do the frosting. For that, we're going to use RO2, 1, and 00. I'm going to start with my RO2. Let's start up here at the top. Go underneath these gumdrops and cherries. About this one over here. And then we'll skip down here to the next level cake. Go around our gumdrops. And then the bottom one, we will go next to this cake up here, and again around our gumdrops. And I'm going to go around these roses over here in the leaves too. And then for the bottom, let's do a little bit underneath this line. I'm going to go clear across over here to the other side. Okay, then I'm going to add R01. So just want to soften that edge. And then the second layer. And then the bottom one. And then we're going to fill it in with our R00. So I like to use this to go over the entire thing. So we're just going to go over all the frosting. Same for the second layer. And then the top one. That will help smush some of those colors back up just a little bit. So let's do the wavy frosting on here. For that, we're going to use YG03 and 01. We're going to start with our YG03. And let's dab a little bit of that in the bottom swoops of our frosting. Now we'll go down here and get this one. And then the bottom one. And then we're going to fill it in with our YG01. If you don't want to bother with that, you can just do the whole thing with either of those colors. Or a whole different color. I'd love to see if you had the stamp set and you colored yours, what colors you picked. And we're also going to use these colors on the little rabbit's shirt. So grab your YG03 first. And we're going to color in this bottom section. And then we're going to come down his arm. So let's do a little dab right there. And there's a little wrinkle right there that I'm going to color. And then I'm going to do with YG01 to fill it in. For the leaves on these roses, let's use G99 and 82. I'm going to do my G99 with the little lines that are already on there for me. I'm just going to color right over the top of those. And then I'm going to fill them in with my G82. So let's get out our reds. We're going to use our 29, 24, and 22 on these roses. So let's start with our R29. And I'm going to do, on this first rose, I'm going to do a little dab here along the bottom section. And I'm going to be careful with my red because red goes, once it's on there, you're not going to get it off. Me and red, we just have a problem. Okay, and on this one, let's do the inside swoop. And then this little petal that's underneath. And then this little petal that's wrapping around over here. And then we're going to add a little dab of our R24. So let's do a little smidgen of that on here. Like that. And then another little smidgen over here. And then we want to fill them in with our R22. That. Then let's hop up here and do these cherries, as I use the same colors. So let's do R29 first. I'm going to do this back one. And we'll grab each one of these. And let's do a little dab of our R24. And then a little dab of our R22. Okay, and then let's see, there's got these little dots on here, so let's do R29. So I'm going to do the bottom of each of these dots with my R29. And the bottom ones down here. And then for these little pearls down here, I just colored those in. So I'm just kind of dabbing my pen up and down, and little dots to fill those in so that I don't go outside the lines. We don't want our yellow cake to be red. And then we're going to fill in these dots that we did up here on the top with our R22. Okay, where else did we use this thread? Oh, on the little bird's hat. So let's do R29 first, and let's do this middle tassel with our, whoops, that's not R29. Let me grab R29 first. So our middle tassel I'm going to do along the bottom, and then for these stripes, let's do this top stripe, and then we'll skip one. We'll do the next stripe, and then skip one, and then do the next stripe. Okay, and then we're going to fill the rest of that in with those red sections with our R22. And then for the white parts of his hat, I use my N0. So let's give each of these little tassels a little section in the middle. Nothing fancy with that. Color finish that up. And then we're also going to do the handles on the cart. So let me do R29. So let's do this little handle over here. And then this little handle. And then we'll fill it in with our R22. Let's do the stars next. For that, we're going to use Y38 and 32. We're going to start with Y38. And let's do along the bottom this one. Same for this side. Let's do a little dab at the bottom of these little stars here. And then I'm just going to fill them in with my Y32. For the bigger gumdrops on the cake, let's use V15 and V12. So I'm going to go with my V15 first. I'm just going to give each of my little gumdrops a little swipe at the bottom. Nothing too fancy. And then we're going to fill those in with our V12. And I'm actually going to, when I put my card together, I use some Stickles Stardust on these cute little gumdrops to make them all shiny and sparkly. And as long as we have the cute little purples out, let's go down here and do those flowers on the wheels. So for that, we're going to use V15, 12, and then Y38 for the center. So we're going to do our V15, just a little dab in each center of these little petals towards the bottom. Same over here. And then we're going to fill the rest of the petals in with our V12. And then for the center, we'll give it a little dab of our Y38. And I forgot this little petal, didn't get all the way there. So that leaves us with a little cart. So for the little cart, I'm going to use E49 and E44, and then for the wheels and the handle, we're going to use W7 and W5. So I'm going to start with my E49, and I just want to go with a little dab around these little pearls here, the little red spots. And it's really dark, so I'm going to try not to color the actual red parts. That may not happen. Just very carefully go around each one. And if you don't use this, I don't use this color very much. It seems really wet. So if you don't use yours very much, you might want to pop the other end off so that it doesn't spill, make a big blob. Then we're just going to fill the rest of the cart in with our E44. So let's do this top part and along here. Nothing too fancy for that. Let me see here. Let me grab R29 because I'm actually going to color the axles underneath the little cart red. So let me do that right now while I'm looking at it because I forgot them when I had the red out. Okay, and so for the other parts of our little cart, we're going to use W7 and W5. So let's do the handle over here with our W7 first. We're going to do up here underneath the bird's feet and the rabbit's hand. And it's such a small area, I'm just going to fill it in very carefully. And then I'm going to take my W5 to the rest of these handles. And we'll go down here, we'll do the wheels. So again, grab your W7. I'm going to fill this back one in. And then for these, I wanted to do the bottom section. And then same for this side. Be really careful, don't color your flower. And over here, let's do the bottom part of that wheel. And then we're just going to fill them in with our W5. So there is our adorable third Celebrate image all colored up. Isn't it cute? Can't you just see making someone a cute little birthday card with that? If you would like to see what I did with this image and the finished card, you can head over to the store blog and check out blog post for August 20th, 2016. Make sure if you have a question to leave me a comment. I'm happy to get back with you. Otherwise, I hope you had fun coloring with me today, and you have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time. Bye!